vent. But before I begin in my venting, I do want to first say, if you are easily offended by unapologetic verbiage, then this is your chance to make an exit from this live, because this is not going to be the live for you. And that's on Winnie the Pooh. It might get a little graphic. Like, I may eat that greasy pork chop today because that's how I'm feeling. Today is my 12th day with no marijuana. Mind is feeling sharper, and so is the tongue. So, I applied for a few creative artistic grants this year, and I was turned down for three of them. I want to give a shout out to the Trans Justice Fund, who year after year has supported me in projects in which I've done with other people and projects that I've done on my own. The Trans Justice Fund has seen me since 2015, has seen my work, and has repeatedly supported me, and I am so grateful for that, or for that funding source seeing me and honoring my work. If it were not for the queer people and in and outside of the community, because there are people all over the country who have my paintings hanging inside their homes. I don't sell them because I don't paint to profit. I paint for therapy. And I used to sell my art, but I realized these are my babies. These these are my babies. These are just some of my babies. The rest of my babies are by my daughter house, but these are my babies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on a new one right now. These are my babies. I can't imagine, just like selling off my babies. I do wanna put them on clothing. I like that idea. So I'm probably gonna do that later on, but um this is therapy for me. And when I have a chance to work with people, like on my last job, I had an art therapy class, and I was helping, queer and trans people and people outside of the community to work through whatever it was that they were going through art. You know what I'm saying? I don't think ideas always have to be practical, or there needs to be a science to art. I think that sometimes art is just meant to be approached organically. And so when I write for grants or when I write proposals, that's how those ideas come out of me, because I'm channeling my ancestors, not just my ancestors who were slaves, because we love using this ideology that, because slaves couldn't read and write. But let's be clear, slavery is going on still to this day. There are people who are afraid to stand up against our oppressors. There are people who are afraid to rebel, who are depending on their checks and go to work for Scrooges and Ebenezer Scrooges, who don't care about them or their community, and they go and work for these people and build up these people infrastructures and build up these people's organizations who are oppressing them, and they are very literate. There are slaves who have doctorate degrees. And back then, they had educated slaves. They'll make you believe, they'll teach you that slaves were illiterate. But, honey, there were slaves who were very literate, very well spoken, very articulate, very educated. Being a slave doesn't mean that you're illiterate or that you can't read and write. There are slaves who were very literate, who were very educated. What it takes to create a slave is fear, and fear has nothing to do with education. You can be just as fearful and still be educated. So when I say my ancestors, I mean my ancestors who did not have this learning system, who did not learn in this way, who did not approach art in the same way. It was organic. They did what felt good to them, and that was art for them. It wasn't always a method. It wasn't always a practice. It wasn't always a chronological order. It just was. Sometimes they're organizing. It's not a science. It's just there are those of us who have the ability to call people together. There are those of us who just know how to guide others. Some of us, that's just a gift. The science is when you have to copy beings who are gifted. That's where science comes from. That's where practice comes from. This is why you have to take classes, but there are beings who are born with gifts, who just have it. They didn't have to practice. They just sat down and they kept doing it every day and they loved it. And of course, it began to look better, or it began because they were more confident in it. They believed in it more. They loved on it more. But some people are just gifted, and other people have to practice to get where other people are. And this is what I don't like about the art world, especially in our community, because I can't really speak for what's going on in white America, or amongst bougie elite, or black heterosexual people. I can only speak for what I'm experiencing in the queer community, in the black queer community. A lot of these trans people who have gotten to this place where they can fund art, they want to pick and choose what they want to fund. And my art is around here touching lives. I can remember when I was working at this organization in New York, where we were giving out supplies for people to use safely without overdosing. And it was a couple of trans people that loved my art when I had it on the jumpsuits. And she used to ask me all the time to give her a jumpsuit. And I would have loved to give her a jumpsuit, but it costs money to create those jumpsuits. And I've been writing for grants to get assistance so that I could, start to produce my jumpsuits, um, produce a lot of them. And who knows how wearing that jumpsuit would have changed her life. Like, because energy is transferred not just through sex, it's transferred in another way. And I'm a person who has dealt with addiction, and I have been able to be strong enough to find other outlets to pull myself out of addiction by using my art. And that energy could be transferred to other people through my art, through sharing my art. And so she was struggling with addiction, and she asked me, for one of my jumpsuits. And I did a lot for her. But as I was saying, I just didn't have the resources at the time to create a jumpsuit for her. And so, like I said, I asked for help from these organizations to give me funding to do certain things. And it's always an excuse about why y'all can't fund me. But y'all out here funding all of these other people who their art is for the bourgeois. Their art is typically for people who are not reaching those people who really really need it and who really really could benefit from it the most. Like, we got people out here in the streets, people on the grassroots level, people on the ground that really could be healed by this art, that this art could be like armor for them. This art could give them the courage and give them the confidence to come out of their situation versus staying stuck in their situation. And I feel like a lot of times my art gets slept on because it's not really for the bourgeois. Like, if it moves you, then that's great. Cause my art is not to exclude you. My art is not, I'm not saying to the bourgeois and the elite that no, my art is for everybody but you. I'm saying that when I create these stories and when I'm telling these stories, I'm not really thinking about you. And so it upsets me that this gatekeeping happens and I'm not receiving enough support to be able to do everything that I would like to do in community. All of these great ideas that I have to be able to help people and to be able to uplift people and to be able to inspire people and to be able to motivate people who don't have that support, who don't who have forgotten the power of art, who's forgotten the power of storytelling, who've forgotten the power of art therapy. Like people who could legit benefit from that. I want to be able to do that work of helping them, and there's just not enough help. It's just not enough help. It's a lot of fake funders that y'all swear y'all trying to help black trans people, but y'all keep helping them same ones. And then when y'all get ready to have these conferences, when y'all get ready to have these events, when y'all get ready to have these rallies, when y'all get ready to do all of the things, then y'all go out and y'all hire somebody and spend $20,000 on somebody who's not supporting the community. Y'all go out and y'all spend $15,000 on somebody who is not out here doing this work. Y'all go out and y'all spend all this money on somebody as a gimmick to entertain the oppressors, to just make the whole community into some type of gimmick, some type of just pure entertainment with no heart or soul. Cause I love shaking my ass just as much as the next person. But baby, can the lyrics have some meaning sometimes? Can we shake our ass with a purpose other than just shaking it? I'm all for the shenanigans, but shenanigans can have a purpose. It does not have to be empty shenanigans. That's it. I'm about to go. I just wanted to do a light vent. That's just a little light vent because I get frustrated with community out here lying, trying to make it look like y'all here for the most marginalized and y'all here for the most overlooked and underserved, when really y'all just saying that to make y'all self look like y'all give a shit when y'all really don't. You give a shit about your friends and your besties and your circle who trying to come up off of the real strugglers, off of the ones who really out here resisting and doing the work. Well, whatever. That's it. That's all I got. Later, down that I say cool. It keeps spinning and turning. Iegani Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I'm a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Y'all have a good day. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm so excited about this piece. Let's look at it. And girl, look at the earrings, girl. Girl, do you see the earrings, girl? They came out so cute, girl. Came out so cute. I love this piece. I love it. It's so beautiful. Come on now, down.